so far.
All right, well, we're on air now. Okay, cool. So, welcome to MindFit for those of you who are online now or who will be online later. And welcome. Let's bring this in a little because, like, the U goes really far off. Cool. I love this. Some new faces in MindFit today. I love that. So we do record it, obviously, so our teams and guests all around can check it out and look at it. So why don't you share your name, because you're new. Actually, let's just go around the circle and share names, because we have some new faces in MindFit, and we have a new guest today. So let's start with you. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Rochelle.
Hey, Rochelle.
Hi, Rochelle.
Oh, hi, I'm Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm
Jared.
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I'm Serena.
Hi, Serena. Hi, I'm Chris.
Sarah. Emily's.
And Miguel.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was probably really fast for whoever's watching. Cool. So MindFit is a space that we can really take our thinking, almost like step on a body for a second, and look at how our thoughts and our emotions and our actions are affecting our life currently. So it's literally a way where we can hold up the mirror and see the reflection of what's happening. Things that are really great, or maybe things that you're like, I maybe should take a look at that in my life. Okay, and there's no right or wrong. That's the biggest thing about this entire conversation that I personally love the most, is like, there really is no right or wrong. It's really about, are you choosing to live in your highest self? Are you choosing to live authentic? Are you choosing to make the decisions that you're making because you feel like you're being guided to do so, versus making it because someone told you you should, or because you want to please other people? So we've had a lot of different discussions. Last week was great. It was all about responsibility, and it was a big one. It was a really big one about taking responsibility for your life and your actions. And this week, our topic is about inspiration. So what we'll do, we'll just kind of open it up and let you guys share, what inspiration means to you. But first, kind of let's look at inspiration. I think it can be how you get inspiration, but also how you inspire others. I think there's kind of a twofold part to this one, especially this week. So I'm not going to say anything else. I want to just put it out there where you guys sit with inspiration. When you hear inspiration, are you like, I'm scared, I don't know what inspires me? Or are you like, yep, I know it, I got it, here's what I have to share? Floor is open. I was like, Karen looks like she wants to say something.
When I think of inspiration, I think of people that are living in their truth, people that are living on passion, on fire, like they're just shining whatever they do. And so I try to inspire people by living my truth and, living my best life, being healthy, working on myself, being transparent, and just putting it all out there and just sharing it with the world.
Awesome.
Inspiration for me is, I think it's beneficial when I can see someone that has gone through a tougher situation or sits in a more difficult seat than I currently sit in. I think a lot of us look to do self through others, through different vices and different forms of people. And I'm inspired to do more when I see someone else that should be down in the depths of being negative, or because their situation really they deserve to be negative, but yet they're being super positive or over the top of moving forward, not letting that get in the way, and then it really leaves me no excuse to not be even more with everything I've been given, the blessings and all the different, talents and gifts that I've been, been able to possess. So I think like inspiring other people's difficult situations.
Cool. So yours is like seeing is believing kind of thing. Like you see it and you want to aspire to be it. That inspires you to become what they have done.
Someone in a situation in you, and you can inspire people from what you have. You don't have to, oh, I have to do this to get there. That's a lot of things of what I'm learning this week. Is I don't have to do a certain like 15-pound challenge on you. I don't have to do that to then get me, to move forward in my business. I can give it away, teach people what I know now, and inspire not only myself to learn how to give things away, but also inspire people to teach them and get inspiration from them learning and them being able to then go teach someone else. So that's big. That's huge for me this week because I'm used to the learning. Like, I got it. I know what it is. I'm just going to give you a little bit. That's trainer lifestyle. So give them a little bit.
There's a little trust in that too.
It's a lot of trust in it, and I think that's the whole point of growth, though. It's like like finally being able to let go of things that we deem is so. It's like our power. Our power is not holding it. Our power is actually having the knowledge, being present in that, and then giving that away.
Woo! It's a big awareness. When you shared that at our pre-meeting yesterday,
Yeah.
I was like, yes,
Yeah.
okay. That's an amazing awareness. Like, really acknowledge yourself for that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think inspiration can be the opportunity to like have a paradigm or a perspective shift. Because what makes something inspiring, and not everything is inspiring to other people, and not everything is inspiring to everyone in that position in their life. But it's when a person expresses or lives a life, it's like almost like it provides an opportunity or an option for another person to shift their perspective, and you can either take it or not take it. Either choose to be inspired or not. I don't know necessarily if the choice is a conscious one. I think it's just like it'll spark something, and it's like, oh, I have a choice to look at that differently. Wow, and it doesn't have to be somebody in the worst situation than you.
Right.
It can be both. It's just about shifting a perspective, I think, and opening up a little different like glimmer in the brain that's able, if you're able to like cope or something in a different way, or produce it in a different way, or create in a different way. So I think it's like really like sort of like a paradigm shift. At its very, very core, it's like the shifting of something that allows something to shake up and move forward in a different way. That's what I think inspiration is to me, like at its base.
Cool. Anybody else have anything? Yeah.
I definitely think inspiration is awareness of others. And let's say I see somebody I'm in an injured state, but when I see somebody, let's say I'm working out and I see somebody with no limbs and I see them working out, that's going to inspire me to work even harder because I have something that he doesn't, and yet he's working really hard. He's giving it 110%, and I'm learning here, okay, I'm working hard, but now I see this guy working even harder. I got to do that, and it's pretty much like Jared said, seeing is believing. You have if you see other people working hard, you're their intention is not to inspire others. They just came there to work out. They just came there to just be themselves. But you see little things like that, you're like, wow, okay, this little guy, I have no idea who he is, but he has such a huge impact on my life. And it's that awareness of saying, wow, okay, you can get inspiration through so many things if you're open to it. If you're so closed off to inspiration, you can. There's two ways. You can see that guy working out with no legs. Some people be like, wow, he's a beast. Other people are like, why is he working out? He should be at home, in a negative mindset. But if you have that positive mindset, it's, wow, this guy's crazy. He's working hard. He's committed. He's not going to give up. And that's like that. Exactly. It's a paradigm shift. Exactly.
And also know that you might see that person that inspires you, and you're like, oh, okay, that's going to inspire me to work harder or do something different. And people are always watching you too.
Exactly.
So it's like we get it from somewhere, but then we give it to someone somewhere along the line, right? Someone sees one of our posts on Facebook, or you say something to someone, they're like, oh my gosh, I never saw that in myself. Giving somebody a compliment might change their entire day, and you might inspire them to go to the park and take a jog versus going home and crying because of whatever situation you're in. It's like every single moment we have that hand to offer, something to offer someone for inspiration. When I'm thinking about inspiration, I'm thinking about, like, I feel like in the moment that I get inspired, I like have this like feeling. Like for me, that's what inspiration is. So whether I see a beautiful dance routine, like because I'm a dancer, right? So for me, it's like art and dance and movement or like nature. Those are the things that right off the bat I would say inspire me. But like when I feel that inspiration, I always have this like inhale feeling. And I have a funny story to share just because it was like, it just makes me think of this topic. So on Monday, Cameron and I were in San Juan Capistrano at the Mission. So it's like the Mission Inn, and it's beautiful grounds, and it's like, you know, church, and there's a cathedral, and it's like absolutely gorgeous. And so we're walking the grounds, and we're like, yay, this is awesome, and it was beautiful. And we turned the corner to walk into this cathedral, and the back was top to bottom like gold. It was like so stunning. And right, we're in a cathedral, but I turned in, and I was like, holy shit. And Cameron looks at me and is like, babe, really? We're like going into a church right now. I was like, but like it took my breath away, and like I almost got tears in that moment. It was such a breathtaking sight, and it inspired me. Like it woke up my creativity, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to journal, I got to go do, like I was so inspired. And so I feel like inspiration for me is that inhale breath that then causes an action. So that's my experience of inspiration. So
I think there's a saying there's a guy who does like, you know, your motivation personal development on YouTube. And he says, if all of us are in this world and we all exist in the world, we all need each other. He's like, why not, if we all feed off of each other, like just like the circle, why not be the biggest, brightest, largest energy that you could possibly be just for everyone else? So if I'm a bigger and larger energy, and my energy rushes into yours, then your energy would be bigger and larger energy. Kelly, you know, would be a bigger, larger energy. Would be a bigger, I just skipped that.
It's all right.
And will be a bigger, larger energy, and that will continue to go. And once I think it's like so many, like this business and all of us being in it, it changes you, makes you go to a certain level in your life, and now none of us want to go back to that. You know what I mean? There's so many businesses and so many things that we do. Organizations will go to certain levels, and then we'll just go back. You know, a little while ago, but this thing, like, we're truly like going to places that we can no longer, like the door shut, and it's great. It's amazing. Karen said, it's like our truth. You know what I mean? Like we were talking last power that it's stepping into your own truth. So why not? What is it going to take for all of us to be like the biggest energy that we can, so that all of us can each now go to another level and stay there and be better people? So like I think that's the first thing. It doesn't always, like Sarah said, it doesn't always happen right then and there. Somebody might say something to you one day, and then 3 months later, you're like, oh, all right, I get it now. You know what I mean? There's stuff things that were said to me my first day here at Fit Club. I'm like, oh, cool. That makes sense now. And I think that's like, it's just like, it's all relative. It's all like infectious.
The good infectious.
Yeah, it's all that. So it's crazy. It's like a crazy feeling that you get when you see somebody else and they're like, wow, I want to do that. Oh, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? It's just.
I just want to touch base, Jared, if you don't mind me using you as an example, because it's funny. I actually talked to Jared at 24 when I worked out at his gym when he was working there, and it was funny when I first told him about it. He totally shut me up. It was the hell. It was a complete shutout. I told him, oh no, I'm good. On his phone, just completely ignored me. I'm like, and then I see him out here, and now look at him now, just here, contributing, just so inspirational. It's that inspiration that I want to be part of that. That
Yeah,
little
inspiration.
thing. Exactly. It was just like wow. And what Erica said too with her new coach, I think, or Kim. She was at the beach workout on Sunday. She said 5 people already talked to her about Herbalife. And then Erica was like, you know what? Just don't even worry about it. Just come out to the workout, see our community. And then she was like, wow. And then she came out to the dodgeball workout. She came out to the workout yesterday. And now she's like, this is amazing.
It's all about timing.
All about timing, exactly.
It's about where we're at in our life. Because, like, in this moment, by the end of the night tonight, you will not be the same person.
Right.
Layers of skin have shed, like, things have shifted, a new awareness, a new perspective has come in. And you're a different person, literally in every minute, every second. And it's like, somebody could say something to you in the morning and it goes right over your head. Totally miss it. And then someone says it to you again at night and you're like, yes, that's the best idea ever. And they're like, yeah, I told you that this morning, but you weren't ready to hear it.
Right.
You know, so whether that relates to our business, doing an invitation to someone where they're like, no, but then you see them again a week later, they're like, yes. Or it could be maybe somebody in your family or a friend or even yourself where Jared and I are having a conversation and he's like, hey, Elise, you might want to consider XYZ. And I'm like, I don't know. And like, I don't really remember it. And then maybe Karen and I have that same conversation. And then maybe 3 months later, Serena and I are talking. I'm like, yes, Serena, thank you for telling me that. And then in the conversation, I'm like, wait a minute. Karen and I talked about that, and Jared and I talked about it. And then you realize how closed off you've actually been. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that's your part of your journey. So it's like, okay, great. Now I'm awake. I see the universe has been trying to tell me this one thing over and over and over. That's why we learn lessons sometimes over and over and over, whether it be with a guy, ladies, or girl, man, whatever, doesn't really matter what the sex is, but in a relationship, when you repeat the same relationship over and over and over, it's because you haven't learned the lesson you're supposed to learn.
Oh, yes.
Or you haven't become the person that's now able to move on past it.
Right.
Which is not learning the lesson too, which I think is the flip side to, you know, you talk to somebody about the business and they're like a no, or, you know, you talk to somebody about something and they're a hell no or a no. Yes, they may be closed off, but also maybe you haven't done the work on yourself to get to where you need to be, where you can express or connect, even in a subconscious way, to promote or to, like, I'm looking at that thing right there, promote, to, like, get across that idea. And so, like, we have a responsibility to ourselves to continue to move on with our lives and our, you know, continued education and journey and inspiration within ourselves, so then we're able to connect with more people in a broader way. We were at the gym this morning, and a guy we were lifting with was like, he sees this girl working out there every morning. Man, she's a beast. She's here every morning. She's a beast. Go talk to her. I'm not ready yet. Okay. So, and every day she's there with her like giant Starbucks. I can't believe she has that Starbucks. It drives him crazy. You know, why does she have that Starbucks? Go talk to her. He doesn't go talk to her. Today he like goes talk to her, and 5 shots of espresso she has every morning. And he's like, oh, you know, would you be open to like me bringing you something from like Herbalife for you to try? No. So he came back and he told me that, and I was like, should have just like continued the conversation and just brought her a lift off the next day and be like, I brought you this. Like next time you don't have your coffee, try it. She would have hunted me down. But because like you went about it like the wrong way, because like directly and like not in like a, you know, we weren't ready yet, you know. Yeah. And so it's just like we just have to be really conscious of like not always going into the kill.
It's like inspire yourself to inspire others.
Right. And like then like think about like how's the best way to connect with this person. She drinks 5 shots of espresso every day, probably for like the last 10 years. Of course not, she's gonna be open for something from Herbalife. She loves her coffee.
And if you think about it
loves it.
in the sense of inspiration, like if we keep bringing all of our conversations back to that, it's like, okay, you see this person in the gym, you want to go talk, like, think about what is inspiring you to go talk to that person. I promise you, whatever type of invitation, even if, let's just say it's your mom. Okay, what is the inspiration to call your mom? Like, are you just calling and be like, okay, I'm supposed to call her, we talk every Wednesday, da, 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 da. Or are you like, wow, I'm really inspired to tell her what I'm up to in my life. I'm really inspired to share with her I went up to this person in the gym. Like, why are you choosing to do the things that you're doing?
Right.
Why are you sitting here today? What inspired you to be in these seats today? If we come from, wow, like literally it's so different. Anything is possible. It's like, because going up to that person who drinks 5 shots of espresso, learning that to be like, wow, let's talk about this for a moment. Why do you do that? Tell me about why do you feel so committed to those 5 shots of espresso? Is it the taste? Is it the feeling? I want to understand what inspires that person to drink that, so that I can understand how I can give possibly a shift of inspiration. Or if the inspiration is to get energy and feel good, well, I can provide that same thing without having to crash. It's something that's providing nutrition. So I can get underneath why she's inspired, then I can bring more value of inspiration to the table. You know, if I'm sitting down talking to a friend who's having a rough time, blah, 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 cry, 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 it's like, I could be like, well, suck it up. Or I could say, cool, well, like, why is this getting to you? What is it really? And then probably can determine that it's something that happened in my friend's past that is just showing itself in the future. See, there's always an underlying reason for everything. Miscommunication is only because we choose to put different definitions on words. You've lived a different story than I have. So you might say, I'm all energy, I'm hype, but to me, energy and hype might be scary. Because, this is not true, but like because someone in my family was so energetic and hype that I would get pushed out of the way all the time. So although energy and hype might be something that's awesome for you, it might not translate to the person you're talking to. So that's why authentic connection is so important. Because you get underneath the truth of the words. The words actually get in the way sometimes. Because we have different definitions.
We all feel
so it's like, that's why we can go around the circle and everybody has a different definition for inspiration. Where it causes something different in each of us. And how beautiful. But if we are continued to be closed-minded and say my way is the highway, my way of viewing inspiration is the only way, then you will always continue to have misunderstandings of people. You will always continue to like have that feeling in a conversation. But if you can say, cool, this is how I view it, this is how Karen views it, but we get that we're going towards the same goal, it doesn't matter. That's why when I'm like talking in a lot of different areas right now, but that's why when we talk about agreeing with something and aligning with something, it's actually very different. And it causes something different. Agreement, Sarah says this couch is brown. I say this couch is black. I don't really say it's black, but I'm just saying, right? It's kind of like a purple, okay? So you say it's brown, I say it's purple. But we could just disagree all day long. It's just opinions. But if we say it's a dark mix between brown and purple, I can align on that. Can you align on that? Cool. So now we're in alignment and we can go towards the goal of matching colors with the rest of the space. Right? I know that's like so funny, but
I get it.
It's about awareness. It's about perspective. It's like, we just get to let go. You were saying let go of our grip on what we think is right.
Right.
Yeah.
Let
Because
go.
we can come into an alignment with something even if we don't agree, if you continue to get general enough. You know?
A lot of people would think that would be a compromise.
Right.
But
Implies somebody winning or
exactly. So when she said alignment, it's like working together instead of putting that, like, instead of fine, you know what, screw it.
Right.
Like, we'll compromise. Because I've always heard the term as like compromise is a sign of defeat. So that's the way I was taught. So whenever I had like a little argument, like, no, this is purple. Like, it's purple.
Because you want to be right.
Exactly, you want to be right. But when you come in, exactly what you said right now, if you were in alignment together, like, you know what, it's dark, it's a mixture of both. It's like, okay, cool. I never saw it that way. because I was so closed off to no, it's my way exactly. Like no, I'm right, you're wrong. It's that feeling, it's that sense of like I'm always right. It's the ego in yourself, like which sometimes you like not sometimes you have to let go.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm so like brought up with what you're saying. Like I just, like I talked with Lawrence. If everybody doesn't know, over there, Lawrence Liu is one of our millionaire team members, and me and him had a conversation. Get to? Oh, okay. Well, next millionaire. All right. Yeah, I'm putting it out there for him, but yeah, Lawrence. All right, it's already out there. So, with like so much of like what you're saying is like what I personally got, and the reason why giving it away seems like such a duh. Like I mean, you could just do it, but for me, it's like being competitive, being a personal trainer. It's like it was like I am. I got this. I do this. I'm doing group fitness. I'm doing personal training. I. And it's like giving it away and then agreeing on a mutual plane is letting is basically saying that it's not about me. Cool. Like I'm really truly into what. Like let's move past it. As one of the first multi-marketing jobs I ever had was with ACN, and one of the leaders there, he was who successful at it. He says, I don't care about being right. I'd rather be rich. You can be rich or you can be right. He's like, and so many people argue being right for free. You know what I mean? Like, I'm right, this couch is brown, no, this couch is purple, I won because I argued you. What did you gain from that?
Right.
It was free. I'd rather be rich and agree with you and work with you and we make something than to be right.
Right.
Good for me. High five for me. I was right. And I mean, you were wrong. And I think it's so many times that we like get satisfied with those like temporary, minute goal, like the little satisfaction, the instant gratification of that little moment that we were right versus the long time game. Because I think we're not used to it. I think our society is based on literally telling people right and wrong in this way, that way, whether it be through a deity that you believe in or through some type of whatever that you come up in. It's like you got to go this way. You can't wear one skate. You got to wear two skates. You can't make up things. And it's right. So it's so crazy that we're not. I don't believe we're used to being not combative or not argumentative or not someone that has to hold on to being right or wrong. And to let go of that is something new. Like this group, that's something new that we're all dealing with, being able to just speak freely and not be scared that somebody might hear us saying our inner thoughts and our inner feelings. And I think that is it's crazy that's what happens. But for me, that's my biggest thing is to literally let people go and be like, all right, you can have this. Okay. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying
Or
that.
learning like the art of alignment or learning like the ability to align is so powerful because we do live in a win-lose society.
We do.
And our society teaches winning and losing. And it's really powerful when you can just learn to align and be like, ooh.
Right.
But I also don't have to lose.
But then you win.
Exactly. And then you win. And like,
And you just allow people to be who they're going to be.
exactly.
So it's personal. So that's who they are.
Can you imagine if we had a government that was invested in creating wins for everyone?
That's a whole other conversation. That will be next week. But it's true. I mean, when you can come into that alignment and let go of the right, wrong, inspiration can come in. When you're trying to defend yourself and I all the place, like, it doesn't matter how much inspiration is thrown at you. I don't know that you'll ever truly receive it.
Yep.
Right.
And so when you're able to get into the space of collaboration, of aligning, of like, hey, yeah, I'm open to hear your opinion. Oh, thanks. I'm open to hear your opinion. It's like, now we can get inspired. You know, a lot of times when, like, let's take writer's block, for instance. Like, I don't know, is anybody writers in here, like, journal a lot or anything? So you guys know, even if you don't, you know what writer's block is, right? It's like people sit down to write and they're like, nothing comes out. Well, it's because they haven't put themselves in a source of inspiration. That's really why, if you look at, like, the root of it, and I'm sure there's probably other reasons that come along, but it's like, same thing. If you're lacking inspiration within the business of Herbalife, or lacking inspiration with your hobby of painting, whatever it is, it's like, go do something outrageous. Go do something that you don't normally do. We've talked about this before, like with passion. Like, get connected again with, like, what your 7-year-old little girl or little boy used to do. Ride bikes, play in the mud, you know, do craft time. I don't know. Color in a coloring book. But it's swing on a swing set. It's like it ignites some inspiration inside. You know, trying to make yourself sit down and write if you're having writer's block is not the answer. The answer is actually outside of that. Same thing here. If you're like, oh, why can't I get new clients? Probably because that's the only thing you're focusing on and you're making yourself right or wrong because of it. It's like, let go a little bit. Go do something that you haven't done in a while. Go jump on the trampoline. Whee! Oh my gosh, people get to feel free. I get to tell people that they can be free by doing this. It's like you get that new inspiration or thought. So, how do you guys get inspiration? Besides maybe seeing someone, like what causes inspiration? Are there any activities that causes inspiration for you? Yeah.
The non-health coach answer is ice cream.
Okay,
There's something
great.
like, yeah.
Hey,
Anyway.
if that ignites something in you,
Yeah, no,
that's real.
It does. There's just something about it releases endorphins. But when I do have writer's block, because I do journal a lot, I just write whatever comes to my mind, almost like a mind dump. Like if when I wake up in the morning for the first 10 minutes, blue, green, blah. You know, whatever silly thought, and I don't judge it. I don't judge what I'm thinking about. You know, and I just write. Foolish, upset. Like I said, blue, green, walls, and through that, after a while, that chaos, something starts to make sense. So that's actually how I get inspired. I just anything that comes to mind.
I do a lot of, for me, activity-wise, it's a lot of painting and a lot of arts and craft and dancing-wise too. So I used to be a dancer, and so whenever I see videos online of all my old friends dancing and all this stuff, and they continue dancing, it always inspires me to go, oh, I feel like again. I feel like I just want to do something and just let go of everything that was in my system, and that's what I do when I paint. Another thing is when I paint, it's really weird because I rarely clean my room, but when I I like get to the point where I'm so busy, and I just leave it painting everywhere, and then one day I sit down, what is going on in my head? Why am I feeling so blocked of being creative or being inspired to do something? And I sit down and then I'll like clean my room in silence, which once I do that, everything just starts organizing in my head. That's like, boom, there you go. That's the inspiration I need.
For me, my physical space is a direct reflection of what's happening in my
I
mind.
was
So
just
if I
gonna say-
allow my house to get cluttered, then I find myself blocked. So I create my
That's what I was going to say. I had 2 points on what you shared. That was the first one, is that it's very true. Physical is the first level of getting yourself cleaned up. Like physical, our body, right? When we lose the weight or we tone up or whatever, we feel better about ourselves. It just is. Okay? You can love yourself and be whatever weight, but I promise you, when you even just like, I mean, in this last challenge, I lost 4 pounds. I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. And it's like this new ignited feeling of inspiration. So your physical body and your physical space is a direct reflection of what's happening internally. So take a look. What does your car look like? What does your closet look like? You know, it's so true. So it makes sense when you start to clear it. it's actually happening. You know, that's number one. And then number two, when you watch the videos of your friends dancing, do you actually go take a class?
I do.
Okay. Because the way you spoke, it was like, I wish I could go take a class. I want to go take a class. And then you talked about painting. So I was just going to ask when the last time you took a dance class was.
Yeah, I took a dance class. I mean, I haven't seen recent videos of my friends dancing, or I just haven't watched them. But I went back to my old dance team, and I took a class from them. And it was just insane because I haven't danced in like 2 years or so, like choreography dancing.
Yeah.
And the fact of being able to catch up like that again was just like, wow. Like, it inspired me to be like, and like just have that creative outlet just to let go. Because there's a thing that we used to do, it's called living. And it's like you get to dance to whatever music they want to do, the beats, everything. It's not even a choreographed dance, just to dance. And that's something that inspires me to just like,
So I'm going to challenge you to put your next class on your schedule.
I feel like you just shared two majorly huge things where you continue to come up in your life, and one was it's going to be very, very big for you, I think, if you embrace it, keeping your ring clean for 30 days and see what happens. And also, you said that you called the other dancing living, which symbolically means that what you're doing when you're not dancing is not living. So I think it's just like it's really good to notice that. You said that, and I was like, they're blowing her own mind. I don't even know what you know it.
I know.
Like, I don't even know what you like.
You're getting really clear messaging.
Yeah, really clear. Are you listening? You're getting really clear messages over there.
I think the reason why we like, especially, I know that the greatest thing that we are able to do is like transform our body, get that shape of our lives. But like, I believe it's because no one can take that away from you.
Right.
You can lose your house, you can lose your car, you can lose your job, you can even lose family members, God forbid. But no one can take away, losing 4 pounds. You did that yourself. Like, your health result is literally something that changes you because of the fact that you earned it. You literally earned it. Like, it's so major. Take your body from where it is now, and then next thing you know, you're not that anymore. You're something different. And literally, I think that's the most tangible, like, evidence of actual change that you can see. Like, boom. And it's like, I used to be like this, now I'm like, and it's literally like when we have changes in our lives and we come to different parts of our life, we don't do the same things anymore, but it's not as it's not as visual as seeing like you go from have a body transformation. I think that's why what we're doing is so major, and it's just so powerful, and to impact someone, you're like, they actually get to see that this dress don't fit me no more. And the woman, they get to go put on a smaller dress, and they get to go in the store in the mall and not walk past the store with the mannequin with the dress on. They get to go like, okay, I'll take that. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's like you cannot fake fitness. You cannot fake fitness. You're either in shape or you're not. You're either getting fit or you're not. And that's the one. You can't buy it. You can't do anything that normally nowadays you can do with money.
Cheat, you can't bargain, you can't cut corners. Like, it's true. You have to just do it.
I just want to touch base off what Jared had to say. Exactly. You can't. That change. Like, you see yourself before and you see yourself now. It's like, wow, I did this.
Right.
Like, I was able to somehow shift my mindset to be like, wow, you know what? I'm gonna make the decision to get in the best shape of my life. Like, when I look at my before picture, I laugh. I'm like, what the heck? If you guys don't, I used to weigh 240 pounds.
How much? No, I didn't know that.
240 pounds.
Oh yeah, you just need to point out.
I was 240. And that's during that time is when I tore my ACL for the first time. So at that time, I guess for me, it was like, wow, I'm so restricted. I can't do anything. But somehow, I don't know how I did it. I just mustered up the courage. And you know what? I'm going to change my life now.
It's a decision.
It's like, dude, you know what? It's on a dime. Like the paradigm shift was like, it was crazy. Like, dude, I need to do this now, and I'm gonna commit. And now I look back now, just wow, that gratification that you got from working so hard on yourself is like, wow. There's your goal. There's your reward. Your reward is you're looking at yourself in the mirror right now, and your reflection is like your trophy, and that's what I love. And that's how I inspire myself. When in times where where I have negative thoughts, I'm like, you know what? I don't like. I look in the mirror. Oh man, I don't like. I'm not in the best shape I can be. But then I look in the picture. I look at my phone. Look at that picture. Say, okay, I did good. Now I'm bored about it, and just all goes away. It's like, you know what? Let's work harder. Let's do it. Let's keep going.
And to piggyback off of him, I remember during Next Level, during our pod, Val asked me, he said, why do you want a six-pack? You know what I mean? You already got some good results. Why do you want a six-pack? And instantly I thought, because a six-pack is something that I can't hide from, that I can't fake. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're naturally, and anybody let me know if you can understand where I'm coming from, that naturally you can be a leader. Naturally, there's talents that we have that we can be so good at, and it doesn't really take much effort.
Right.
But a six-pack, even some of our results, because we have an amazing nutrition plan, and if you follow the meal plan, you can get results. But a six-pack,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Building your glutes, you know, that's, like you said, it's tangible. It's something that you can't hide a six-pack. That's not going to come naturally. So that's what that was.
I've never had abs either, and everyone sees me now, and they say, well, you know, Jared, it's easy for you. You're in shape. It's easy for you. You know, you're in the gym all the time. But people don't know. Like, they weren't there when I was doing two-a-days, and I was doing that was the first time in my life that my talent, my gift of gab, and everything that I've been given couldn't take me to those places to my photo shoot. Yep. It was literally the first time I had to work on the skill part. You know, like what says is, you know, you have talent and then you have skill. Mm-hmm. Your skill comes from beating on your craft every single day. Beating on your abs, like going to the gym, eating clean. It's not just eating clean for a weekend or a week, but like a week and a half. It's literally every single day, this much water, this much protein, this type of workout. Day in, day out. I go to sleep like this, I wake up like this, I do boom, 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 for an extended period of time. Then I get the outline of my abs. I don't even have the full, complete flat out yet. I just got the outline. And then you keep going, and then after everything starts to click, then your abs comes in. And then you have to keep it, because it'll go away if you don't consistently stay on it. And that's like the first time that I've really seeing that you're going to have some things in life, the really, really important detailed things, you're going to have to literally work on every single day like this, every single day. And that's the reason why now that, you know, going after our dreams and our goals is like difficult. Because life is simple. You know, like she said, nutrition plan, you're going to get results, you're going to be fine. Life is simple. It's the stuff that we want out of life to put on top of what's already free. The seed, the land is free. We want the house, we want the boat, we want the car, we want the lifestyle. That's everything extra to put on top of it. That's why it's more difficult. Because it's not something that we can just have. It's something we have to literally do this every single day to get it. That's crazy. I mean, that's the part that's tough.
Yeah, and just before we close out, because we're getting close to time, thank you for sharing all that. That was awesome, and we're clearly like on a roll with everything. I was thinking when you were sharing, Chris, and then continuing when you were sharing, is like, we haven't talked about this piece of inspiration yet, and I think it's really important. We talked about things externally that inspire us and how we can externally inspire others. But always coming back to the fact that going within first can create a whole lot of inspiration. We already have the answers. We already know what's next. We don't need to go outside of ourselves to figure it out. And, you know, we always come back to this kind of thing in whatever topic we're talking about, because it really comes back to the relationship that you have with yourself and with your creator, the universe, whatever it is that you call it or that you're with, right? That there's always, it's you with you and whatever else is greater out there in space. And so, you know, how often are you meditating? How often are you getting silent? How often are you able to just sit and be with yourself? I couldn't do it for a long time. I'd be antsy. I'd have to turn on the TV, turn on music. Like, being in silence would almost drive me crazy. No, I'm not talking like being in silence, like doing your room and stuff, because like I've done that. But like I'm saying, like, be silent and actually open your ears, open your heart to hear. You know, you're hearing the messages, but are you really taking it in and allowing yourself to take that next step? To live, to dance, to open up, like your soul is calling you to do that. Like major. Right? And every single one of you have something that your soul is calling you to do. Are you listening to it? Because I guarantee that whatever it is that it's calling you to do will create the inspiration for you to move into whatever is next for you in your life.
I just feel like when it comes to, just to find that is find joy, and inside of joy find expansion, and that's where the hardness of the moving outward of our world, which brings the like layering on top, that's where that starts to go up. Because it doesn't have to feel hard. It doesn't have to be like Just find your fun, find your joy, find what like moves you, what inspires you from within with your source, and then it all like starts to grow.
What are some action steps for this week? Okay, Serena's going to be taking a dance class. I'm willing to hold her accountable. Anybody else willing to hold her accountable? Okay, cool. So we're all going to be talking to you about when you're taking your dance class. Okay, so I think for a parallel for that, like, do something that you feel like you've been called to do. Like whatever, it's a karate class, or go climb the stairs, or call your mom. I don't know. Whatever it is that you know you get to do but you haven't done, let's take that step. I think journaling about inspiration would be really a great thing this week. Just inspiration is, and let it flow. No right or wrong. Don't judge what goes on the paper. You know, and really figure out what it is and then what it means to you, or what inspires you. Like, just kind of look at all realms of it. Because talking about it out loud or not sharing, or sharing, either way is fine. When it's you with you, the truth really comes out. You know, there's no hiding from that. So I think whatever that thing is that you're called to do, and journaling about inspiration. And then I think the last thing, because we always talk about paying it forward, share a piece of this with someone today. Whatever you learned. You know, share a piece of this message with someone today. Because it's going to be a gift. You may not know what form it will take for them, but it doesn't really matter. Just know that you have something to offer. Cool? Yeah. All right, MindFit complete. Yay!